Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court, just like I'm the king on the microphone. So it's Dr. J and Moses Malone. I like slam dunks, take me to the hoop. My favorite play is the alley oop. I like the pick and roll, I like the give and go, cause it's basketball. Mr. Curtis
down the middle. Oh, and Owen Ness rises up. Here comes the hook. Yes, sir. Bill Russell comes up big again. Clever surveys the court. Makes his move. The pull in for two. Dump it into West. Game 5 baseline.
I used to go to dinner with Dale Girls. Tiny Pickens, Earl Pearl, and Will. Big O and Jerry West play basketball, and it's very fast. Basketball has always been my thing. I like Magic Bird and Bernard King. And number 33, my man, Kurt Reed, is the center of my starting team. To the hoop.
Welcome to an episode of Shakedown's Breakdown on NBA 2K12. And I can't tell you guys how excited I am for this game. You know, if there ever was a game that I anticipate more than anything else throughout the year, it's definitely NBA 2K basketball. And NBA 2K12 is no different. It absolutely is my number one anticipated game throughout this year. And you know, in spite of all the games that I play, you guys know I play Modern Warfare and Battlefield and get my hands dirty in pretty much everything. You know, this is my game. This is the game I look forward to playing the most. And it's because I just have an embedded love for basketball. And one of the things that I'm excited about this game is because every year I do a video, or I try to do a reality check video. I never complain about the game's problems and issues throughout the time that I'm playing it. That's why you guys never really notice me as somebody that does a lot of complaining about any game. That's just not in my nature to complain. If I'm complaining about a game, I just don't play it. So, you know, I try to save that to the end of the game's run. And, you know, I put out the video, NBA 2K12 is guilty until proven innocent. And that's a reality check, and it's designed to make sure that I don't forget about the problems that I experienced and that I relate to you guys, because I know you guys are experiencing issues too. Well, NBA 2K12 so far has not disappointed. You know, I don't know what else I could say. There's so much in this game, and I'm going to try my best to give you guys a fair breakdown of what I've been seeing so far without going overboard. This is pretty much my first impressions. You know, if you guys notice the gameplay, I've actually got it set to 1 minute quarters because I was simulating through the playoffs. I'm gonna be doing some reenactments for some videos I'll be doing real soon. And so you know, this was actually kind of like some of my first gameplays, even though they're only 1 minute quarters. But nonetheless, I do want you guys to get an idea of some of the things that I've noticed and see if we share those same opinions. First up is the graphics, and go ahead and look at Carlos Boozer. You know, he's never looked better. The guy looks like he's fresh out the gym, and you know, I promise you, the graphics are so much better than NBA 2K11. I know that's what I was saying, the same thing. Wow, and look at the tattoos right there on Stephen Jackson. You see the tattoos do not look like they did in the demo. The demo, they looked like the tattoos were drawn on and they were brand new, and it just looked really fake. And obviously the demo in this case was an earlier build, and that seems to be the case this year with a lot of games. A lot of the betas and demos seem to be earlier builds. You know, I'm not really finding some of the problems that you would normally see that you've been finding in the demos in the actual game, and that's a great feeling. The ball is more realistic. Last year it was a lot more gold looking, kind of shiny, almost like the ball from Space Jam. And another thing is the ball has always had ball physics in 2K Sports, but now it's got a little bit more tangibility. Actually, I think it has full tangibility to the defense at all times. And you know, this is something that Apex's Free used to say a lot. The ball should be available to the defense at all times, and it is. They nailed it, and I think it's a great testament. You know, this game, you know, 2K Sports every year they they're never satisfied. They're just not satisfied. I remember listening to an interview earlier this month where they were saying that they just weren't satisfied with how they presented 2K11. They had no idea they were going to win all those awards and get nominated for Game of the Year. If I have to nominate a game off of first impressions, this would definitely be my Game of the Year. You know, there's a lot more detail than there ever was. Players have a lot more detail than they ever had. You know, the expressions on their faces, and it's just crazy the stuff you see. The sound is so much better. What else is there to talk about? The controls, they're extremely responsive. Lots of one-button presses for easier access on offense and defense, and especially for running plays. I love the new post-up. You know, I did a lot of post-up videos last year. You guys really appreciated those, and you know, I'm glad you guys like the videos that I put out for tutorials, and I will be putting out a lot more this year. But it just makes it easier for you guys to get into the post. I actually went into the controls, and I was trying to change the controls and see if there was some way to alter them to bring back the hop step. Not because I really wanted it in the game. There was a nice alley-oop. But mainly because I wanted to see if there was an exploit. Maybe somebody could change the controls and go back to the old hop step and just hop step their way into the lane. You cannot do that anymore. And this is the reason why I'm excited for competitive basketball again. You know, some of the exploits have been removed. I said this in my last video, and it just makes the game look a lot more solid and play a lot more realistic. You know, the dribble controls are the only gripe that I have at this point, because the size-up moves are slower than they used to be, and I'm assuming they're a lot faster for certain players, but I have to believe that ISO motion controls are a little bit more difficult this year for new people to the series than it was last year. But it's still more realistic. You don't see these elaborate dribbles coming off the size up. You know, it's almost like they're preparing you for a crossover or a hesitation, and that's still, again, a lot more realistic. You know, look at Joakim Noah's new do and his beard. Just looks real solid. The presentation is the best I've ever seen in a sports game. You know, and that says a lot, because, you know, I did a lot of videos on Madden football, and you guys don't understand what presentation is. Play NBA 2K12. You will not be disappointed. Makes you feel like you're playing and you're immersed into a real life game. Even the Knicks, the New York Knicks, Madison Square Garden, the lights go out over the crowd when the game is close to simulate them playing by themselves on the court, and it's just an amazing feeling, guys. I love this game. Much more to come. It's your boy Shake. I'll holler at you guys later.